At the end of the last ice age, when the glaciers began to melt and the land warmed, many animals moved north. They moved from Siberia over a land bridge called Beringia to Alaska and down into North America. Some scientists also believe that early people may have come across the Pacific Ocean by boat. Regardless of these theories, we know that many of their descendants came north again in search of mammoth and other large animals. Some of these people settled here, in the area between the Rocky Mountains and the coastal mountains of the southern interior of British Columbia. Because of this, the nations of people who settled here are now known as the Plateau People. The Silcotin, Carrier, Nicola, Secwepemc, Okanagan, Naklapomex, and Tunaxa people all called this area home. During the hot and dry summer, Plateau peoples traveled about in small bands made up of families. They lived in teepees covered with mats or bark. In the winter, they lived in small villages of pit houses. These houses were round and dug about 1.2 meters into the ground. The roofs were earth-covered logs. People traveled the rivers by canoe and the forest by foot. Women gathered wild plants including balsam root, bitterroot, wild onions, fireweed, and cow parsnip, as well as many kinds of berries. The men hunted larger animals like elk, bear, white-tailed deer, bighorn sheep, and smaller animals like beaver, and hare. All of the Plateau nations relied upon fishing, and the rivers provided fish such as sturgeon and salmon. Fish eggs were collected at spawning time as they were very nutritious. Weirs were used underwater to gather fish, and spears were used to fish from shore. No part of any animal was ever wasted. They wore clothing made of leather, fur, and feathers. On their feet, they wore moccasins of leather or salmon skin. They wove blankets from mountain goat hair or cedar root or bark. Baskets were woven in colorful geometric designs. Some baskets were woven so tightly that they could hold water. Rock paintings or pictographs showed human or animal forms or spiritual figures. The paint was made out of red ochre pigments mixed with animal oil or fish eggs. Modern techniques in photography can highlight these pictographs, allowing us to see the fine details. These pictographs are from Mara Lake, British Columbia, south of Sicamous. Over many thousands of years, the indigenous peoples have learned to live in this land that we now call Canada.